out harvesting our durum wheat on dry land. This is the 20th year of emissions farming on this land, and it's declared a disaster drought area in our MD. And just looking at the durum wheat, that's plump and full, and what is that wheat made of? It's carbohydrates. And so 90% of that wheat or the corn or whatever you might see is made of CO2. So if you really look at our surface right as a farmer, and that's taking the top soil that you have on your farm and managing it to produce carbohydrates, which is 96% of that product that you're taking off, and 2% of it is the minerals, and the nitrogen is for protein. About 2%, 3% of it would be the protein. So really, how do you get nitrogen fixation to happen? And that's really what my quest was. That's why our founder company is NC Quest, Nitrogen Carbon. I'm questing to understand it as a farmer. So what you're doing with your surface right of your farm, and your best practices, what you've done in the past, what you're going to do in the future, of getting more CO2 from the atmosphere. That's a key nutrient that stores sunlight energy, with hydrogen from water. So it's very important that your water is sufficient. It's important that you have deep roots. It's important that you have lots of microbiome there that finds the nutrients, finds the water, and helps that plant control its ability to breathe in CO2. Because the more CO2 you breathe in, the more sugar you make, the more carbon you're going to exudate down deep in the soil and sequester it in the soil. This photograph is in the Rift Valley of Tanzania, and it is a 9 pH soil with a cation exchange of 20% sodium. It is extremely difficult soil to manage, but it would have 1% organic matter if you're lucky, because of the practices on the left-hand side of a rollover plow pulled by an oxen. So if you're going to practice zero till and you're going to make a practice change, that surface right can draw in 4 or 5 times more carbon every year, because we built the organic matter from less than 1% to 5% organic matter in 4 years. So it's all about the method, and farmers have always worked out methods. They've had a culture, an agriculture of communication, talking to each other and working out zero till, crop rotations, cover crops, whatever it might be. But the Bio-Active group is about the ag tech solution of having the right equipment that applies the technology and put onto any kind of crop, any kind of landscape, any kind of machinery that you have that is burning fuel. 100% of that can be used as we're passing over the landscape. So irrigation to seeding to spraying and vaping to combine harvesting. Today we're putting it on through our combine, through the straw, dropping the straw so cattle can strip graze it.